Hey! Welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we give you the information you need to make good decisions at the ballot box. So, we got a great show for you today. We'll be talking about the hottest topics hitting the airwaves here in the political realm. So, let's get this show going. All the way from the great state of New York, he's not a spaz, he's Chaz. Welcome,
Art.
welcome. Hey. How you doing up there?
Folks in the chat, I'm doing good, Art.
Good. Feeling good.
Excellent.
Went and saw my friend Rick, who's recovering from West Nile virus, which is very debilitating. And so he's getting around in an electric wheelchair, and he's at a rehabilitation hospital. He's regaining strength, and it's just going to take time for him to fully recover if he fully gets back to 100%. I would say he'd get back to about 95%. I have another friend of mine who, by the way, today is his birthday, who also had West Nile virus several years ago.
Wow.
And he made it all the way back. He's pretty much close to 100%. So, I mean, and it's pretty rare for anybody who gets the West Nile virus here in the United States, which is caused by mosquito bites. And what it does, it's a neurological virus, and it'll shut down your organs. And same thing happened to both of them. They were like right on the death's doorstep, and they were able to bring them back, and they're both with us. So praying for Rick and for speedy recovery, and had a really nice visit with him today. So
cool.
That was good. It was a beautiful, sunny, warm day. We just sat out in the courtyard chatting for a little over an hour and had a really nice visit. So,
excellent.
How's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's kind of strange today. It was below 40 degrees the whole day, but it didn't really feel that cold.
Right.
Comparatively, we had a day a couple days ago where it was like the high of 50 during the day, and it was really chilly. I was really feeling it. But today it was just kind of like,
Yeah, maybe it was sunny and calm wind, so you didn't really feel the bite of the humidity in your neck of the woods.
Or maybe drier air too. Yeah, humidity definitely has something to do with it.
That's true.
Mom and I made a quick trip out to my brother's house because we had some stuff for him, and afterwards we took an extended journey and went by this farm that we like to go by because there's these two black pigs that you can see right from the roadway.
Don't call the cops that. Okay. They happen to be black, you know.
They're pretty big though. They're about they're
PC here, but we're not woke. Okay.
They're pretty big though. They're about they probably go about 200 pounds a piece.
Wow.
They're pot-bellied pigs.
Okay.
And then we extended our journey. A neighbor
were they tasty?
I don't know. We didn't get that. We didn't get into that with them.
Sorry.
Yeah, we just go by and we wave hello to them. And,
okay. This one's bacon, and the other one is sausage.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we have a neighbor who has an actual Herbie. I mean, not a screen-used Herbie, but an actual Volkswagen Beetle with the Herbie livery. And I think it might actually be the proper addition with the the soft top that you can roll back.
Yes.
That was the original Herbie. And he keeps it in his garage. So we go by every once in a while, hoping that the garage door will be open and we can, hey Herbie. So no such luck today.
Oh, did it have the number 53 on it and the racing
it's
stripe?
like yep, it's exactly it's like a clone. Cool. Yep. Yeah, it is.
I thought you guys didn't know I knew what the number was. That's how old I am. I may have had a heart attack, but it didn't affect my brain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, good.
Good. Hey, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Steve Carpenter, SE Aerials. We got the other Steve Knowles, all the way from jolly old England. Steve Knowles, your Christmas card is on its way. And we got Brian, Waypoint, New England. And we got Brad, Catskills. Brad, who was last night's winner. He will be getting his candy went out today. And by the way, there is a Christmas card in there. So we got, who else did I see? Oh, we got Ronnie, God bless America. I believe I got your card out as well. And we got Joe Merca, USA Drone Flyer, Dominic Papa Sergio. His card is on its way. Mailed that a few days ago. He was the first of the overseas people that I've been sending cards out to. So what I did this year is I went on Amazon and I bought a package of 100 cards. So, and I also ordered my own return address stickers. So I got plenty of those. I'll never run out of. So what I do is first thing I do is I put the return stickers on. And then after that, I grab a handful of Christmas cards and put Merry Christmas Art. Merry Christmas Art. And got those in a pile. And I've got a pile of addresses right now, and that'll be the next batch. So if I do about 5 a day, I should be through that in about a couple weeks, maybe.
Yep.
So,
cool.
So that is something that I learned back in my comedy days. I would send Christmas cards, birthday cards to booking agents, club managers, other comedians. And so it's kind of a holdover from those days. And, even though you don't get a lot of cards, I think it kind of feels good to send out cards. And once in a while, you'll get a card. They'll, oh, hey, cool. Or people mention that in the chat and say, hey, I got a card from Art. Yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. So Lloyd he's running a little late, so he's going to be joining us as soon as he gets home. I saw him on Facebook, so I know he's getting close to home. Anyway, something exciting happened this week. A Jew hater and anti-Semite Rashida Talib, congresswoman from Michigan, was censured this week by her fellow members, and it was a bipartisan censure.
Wow,
which is good. I think even the Democrats are like, "Oh, hey, come on, cool your jets, okay? We know just tone it down because you're making us look bad,
to say the least."
Yeah. Although they was never concerned about that when Robert Byrd was in the Senate, member of the KKK.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's been censored, and all the usual suspects are coming out. You're cutting her freedom of speech and blah blah blah. It's no. We're telling her, hey,
No.
we're just not going to put
Listen to
up
you.
with this unkempt or hateful anti-Semitic
Yep.
rhetoric coming from her that has no place in government.
Right.
And I'd really like to see her thrown out of office, but she was elected, and maybe her constituents will say, that's kind of radical. We want someone that'll actually, help us people rather than spouting out
Yep.
anti-Semitic remarks. But sad thing about it is her district is in what we call Dearbornistan, which is Dearborn, Michigan,
Yep.
home of Henry Ford, and where Henry Ford automobile manufacturer started in Dearborn and later moved out to Detroit. And now they have plants all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, it's sad that 80 years ago we fought a war against this kind of
Crap.
rhetoric.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here it is, coming full circle. And now we're getting people elected that believe in this stuff. And it's just not, we can't have that. And we got idiots like her, Ilian Omar, and we got Cory Booker, and who's that? Not Elvis Presley, but her last name is Presley.
Oh,
It's in
yeah.
Congress. She looks like Jada Pinkett, no hair. So I don't know if that's alopecia or maybe a fashion statement. Who knows? Don't care. All I care about is what they do while they are representing their constituents, and just stay away from this uh, radical talk about the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free. No, we need to stop that bullshit. We need to get back down to work to where, hey, what can we do to help the people in our districts? So
Right.
that's yeah, right. That's right, Ronnie. I remember when she said that. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I could move that over. Oop, that's not quite where I want it. I'm trying to move it over to the other screen. And I got YouTube on my other screen. And there we go. And then if I click on that, and it's almost where I want it. There we go. I got full screen. Wonder if I want that or not. No, because now I can't see the chat. So I'm going to reduce that. And then that way I could see the chat live. I'll click that over to live chat. So, and this is the nice thing about having a laptop where I have this screen here where I have StreamYards, and over there I have my YouTube. And then that way, if there's somebody new to the channel that's been here a few times and isn't blue, make them a moderator. So that helps out. What? Yeah, you're right, Steve. I'm gonna. Yep. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. What should start being done is suspending them from Congress, not slapping the hand. Well, you're right, Steve, but I think you gotta do that in kind of like little steps if they keep on acting up. that way. Maybe next time we could suspend them from Congress, expel them from Congress. That might be another step. But then that just gives more ammo for the left to shout. See, they don't like free speech either. They keep shouting free speech, free speech, blah, 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 blah. But they want to shut down people that don't agree with them. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So
Well, it's better to do on the side of right than to don't and allow evil to flourish.
mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. And you got to remember, you got to deal with, the opposition party. They might not go along with expulsion. So we'd have to get all our ducks in a row, and it has to be, well, at least in Congress, all you need is a simple majority, I believe, to Is it a simple majority, or would you need 2/3 of the House to expel somebody from Congress? That is something to think about and look into. So,
yes,
not sure if it is a simple majority to expel somebody. Now, I know the rules are different in the Senate, so maybe it's the Senate that has the more stricter requirements to expel somebody from the Senate, and maybe for Congress maybe it's just a simple majority. We got enough Republican votes, but can we get all the Republicans to be on the same page? That's the other thing too.
Yeah,
You got to think about. Mm-hmm. You got to think of Republicans as a herd of cats. Yeah. Where the Democrats are more like, I don't know, a flock
hive mind.
A hive mind. Good point. Good point. Yep. I was going to say a bunch of chickens where they'll be easily led. Hey, let's go over here. The food is free over here. So that is what's going on. Also, we could talk about this. We've got more people jumping into the third party to run for president. We got Cornel West, who's running as no labels, I believe. And we got RFK Jr., who's running independent. And, oh, God, there is somebody else running third party who is also trying to primary Biden, but figures it might be easier to go this way than to try to primary somebody. And nobody wants to be booted out like Hillary did. So they say, screw that. So that could really help out Donald Trump. Now everybody's saying, well, we haven't had the primaries yet. And it's like, well, I mean, Trump is way ahead in all the polls. He hasn't even been showing up at the debates. Oh, good segue.
Well, they won't let him.
They won't let him in the debates?
I've heard, and I have no way to confirm this, but I've heard that Fox simply won't let him debate. So then all the other people that go, like Chris Christie, taking pot shots saying, oh, you're too scared to show up. No, right. I don't believe that for a moment.
Right.
I think Trump, if he, although I'm not a Trumpite, I think if he showed up, he'd eviscerate Chris Christie.
Right. Right. And so they just recently had another debate, and it looked like Vivek Ramaswamy came out on top and had some really good zingers, especially against Nikki Haley.
Yeah, I
So,
heard she was kind of upset with him.
oh yeah, especially when he talked about TikTok and he mentioned that, hey, your daughter's on TikTok. Hey, you leave her out. Like, well, that I get her point, but you're in the public eye, and I really think that children of politicians should be left out of any.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's welcome all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma, the man with the hairy nostrils. It is Lloyd Mendenhall.
Hey,
Welcome,
Lloyd.
how you doing? I'm using my phone right now because we had a power outage this morning and it shut everything down. I had to run. I apologize for being late, but I had to run and do something for Judy, and just got back. Came in here to start my system up, and it's I don't know, it's not working at the moment. So I just said, to hell with it. I'll join on my phone.
there you go. Well, we were talking about Rashida Talib, who got censured this week.
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Right. So we sort of segued from more people from the Democrat side jumping into the third party. And now we're talking about the latest GOP debate. And it looks like Ramaswamy pretty much came out on top in that debate, made some really good points, and had some pretty darn good zingers against some of the opponents up there.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I didn't watch. Matter of fact, I even forgot it was on. To be honest with you,
Right, I didn't see it either. I heard about it on Fox, and one of the singers was, "I don't want a Dick Cheney in 5-inch high heels running the country."
Yeah.
Oh man!
Yeah,
And she
from what
said,
I understand,
"That's
yeah, it was pretty
3-inch
good.
high heels, for running."
Right. Yeah, it got pretty nasty too, from what I understand. They got into quite a tussle, got a little personal and insulting, but yeah, I like I said, I didn't see that. I've been kind of, I've actually gone kind of news. I've been on news blackout this weekend. We were watching. Judy and I got, we binge watch shows, so we were binge watching The Pretender until the season. It stops right at the season ender and never renews. And of course, the movies that they make, you can't get online or anywhere else unless you want to pay $250 for a CD or DVD.
Ooh. Oh,
yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
And so anyways, there's that. And, we've been watching MASH. So nothing good on TV anymore. And all the remakes of the old shows suck. So
what about Frasier?
I haven't watched it. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of Frasier in the first place. I didn't like him the first time. The only thing he did good was down Periscope. That's the only thing I had. I enjoyed that.
Oh, didn't you like him in what was it? The
Cheers.
X-Men?
In what?
X-Men.
Oh yeah, he was good in the X-Men. I'll give him that. Yeah, as the Beast. Yes, he did a good job in that. That was so like I said, I'm not. Let me see if I can get this to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. No hardware issues. Let's see. My friggin' keyboard's not working, so what the hell's up with that?
Well, it sounds like you need a new hub.
No, I'm not. I'm hooked up directly to it, so it sounds like I got to figure out. My mouse isn't working. Nothing's working. What the hell?
Oh boy!
Yeah,
sounds like the same issue that I had a couple weeks ago with my PC.
Well, it's my PC, and what happened is it shut down. We had at 7 o'clock this morning. I heard this beeping noise. I get up and I realize it's Judy's her nebulizer, not nebulizer, her breathing machine. Anyway, her oxygen concentrator.
Yeah.
So I go in there to flip it off. I go to flip on the light in the bathroom because we keep it in the bathroom because it's so damn noisy. The full size one is, and nothing, nothing happened. So I just went ahead and realized then that we had a power outage, and that's what happened. Is in here it flickered for a second, then went back out again and stayed out. I called it right in. They got it on within 15 minutes. So, but
good.
Yeah. So my PC is. I'll work on it later.
You don't have a UPC?
No.
Or UPS?
Nope.
Or
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Never got an alternate power system. Apologize.
Oh, I've got one from my CPAP machine, so I don't wake up with a surprise with, "Hey, why isn't this damn thing working?"
Yeah, I need to get one for Judy's oxygen concentrator. I really do. But
they're not very expensive.
No, they're not. They're not.
Yeah,
but
got mine on eBay, and it came in about a week. It plugged it in, and only a couple times did it come on, where the power went out, and for a brief second, my CPAP stopped working, and then it kicked in. Yeah, so those are nice things to have.
Yeah, they only last for a couple minutes, though.
No, they should work up to, depending on the brand and how new the battery is. They should work a half hour to anywhere up to 3 hours, depending on how new the system is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I need to get something like that. And I also know what's wrong with my keyboard. It's hooked to my. I have my keyboard and mouse hooked into the hub. It's not a hub, but it's hooked into my monitor. And the monitor's working.
Okay. Right.
The monitor's working, but the power to it is not, because that's run through Windows. So.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. But yeah, I've been kind of politics free this weekend, so I apologize for that. But what does that censure do to Talib? I mean, of what use is it? Did it do anything? Did she get
Well, it basically just tells her she can't make any more antisemitic statements.
Right.
So,
right.
But it frees up her other colleagues to feel free to do that.
Right. Well, in other words, it doesn't really do anything other than maybe remove her from some choice committees or something. I don't know if
I think that's what it does. Yep. I would like to see it to where she can't see any sensitive.
She shouldn't be allowed to be seeing any sensitive documents. Matter of fact, I'd say out of how many congressmen are there? 432 or something. Yeah, 435. I say out of the 435, there's probably only 10 of them that even need to be looking at sensitive material, because the rest of them are a bunch of nitwits that they don't have enough. If their brains were gasoline, they don't have enough fuel to power a piss-ass mini bike around the inside of a peanut. And I mean that's my opinion of most of congressmen, including the ones from Oklahoma. I wouldn't give them any sensitive material.
Right.
There's just only a few of them up there that I think deserve it, and that's the way it should be. We shouldn't be handing that out, because some of those idiots, their agenda,
anti-American.
Yeah, their anti-American agenda, they're going to use that, in whatever way they can. And I think we need to have people that's got good, strong American values that are willing to serve this country the way it should be. You know, that's the way every congressman should be, but that's not the way it is. It's
That's
these,
true.
yeah, and you were talking about, I kind of threw us back a little bit. You're talking about the third party candidates. Yeah.
Right.
I think I've seen a Manchin Romney ticket thrown out there. They're talking about,
Wow.
yeah, Joe Manchin and Romney. Don't know who's going to pick. Don't know who's going to get the top bunk and who's going to get the bottom bunk.
Right. Right.
It's this no labels party that's coming around.
Right. I see. I see.
From what I've read, it looks like it's going to hurt the Democrats far worse than it will hurt the Republicans.
I believe so. And also, just heard Joe Manchin's not going to seek reelection.
Yeah, and that was the thing. That was why his name was put in there. And let me see if I can. But that's why his name was put in there, was because of the third party. I'm trying to get my keyboard working while I'm sitting here.
Well, you need to bang it on the table a few times.
Yeah, well,
might get all the cookie crumbs out and.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is too. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Let's pull that one out.
Ronnie says out of the 435 members, 400 of them should be fired. Well, I agree to an extent, but you can't fire congressmen. The only way you could fire them is not vote for them.
Yeah.
And otherwise, if you just had like 35 people running Congress, I kind of get a little nervous about having.
Yeah, it needs to be divided up. I mean, we need new people, that's for sure. And he's right. Most of them need to be fired. But as far as yeah, we need to have a new system set up so that we can get rid of some of these clowns. You know, the problem is it's the way the Democrats and Republicans run their campaigns and stuff, and the way they throw in the support. The Republicans have been, they've been screwing it up for years. You know,
right.
And from what I've seen, and like I talked with my cousin this weekend. We did talk about that. The platform that they're going to present, the punishment never matches the offense. That's our problem. You're right. He's right. Absolutely right. And but shit. I'll shut up and let Charles talk for a little bit. I just forgot what the hell I was going to say.
Well, he just wanted to talk about two black pigs, and I'm like, going, hey, we love the cops, and keep Grace out of this,
Yeah. Oh my God. I be honest with you. One of the reasons I'm late is I didn't wake up until 5:30 this evening. I'd woke up earlier today.
Wow.
I fell back asleep, and I've been tired all day. And I woke up at 5:30, and Judy says, "We got to have something to eat. I am starving." And one of the things that she's hooked on now is we now have a new Whataburger in. We never had one here in Muskogee, and they make some damn good onion rings. So I was sent, but it's not on my side of town; it's on the other side of town. So I got to drive. I got to drive 10 minutes to get there, and And
10 minutes. Oh my.
Yeah, I know. We're a small town, but still.
Yeah.
I was lucky going over there. I hit every light green on the way back.
Oh, yeah. You mean all three of them?
No. There's about 6 of them. And I hit all 6 of them green. But then I hit all 6 of them red on the way back. And their drive-through ordering system isn't the most
Yeah.
It's not the best system. It's a bit of a Charlie Foxtrot. They got
Uh,
they got 2 lanes, and usually like with it, McDonald's or Burger King, no matter which lane you order from, then you merge into 1 lane and pay out of the cash window.
right.
They've got young people standing out there with an electronic clipboard taking your order and doing all that stuff. So, and
Kind of
then
like Chick-fil-A.
yeah, I guess I've never been to Chick-fil-A, although we have one.
Ooh, they got some good food. Yeah. Now, do you have an In-N-Out burger?
No, we do not.
Well, they're going to open up one in Thornton, Colorado,
Okay.
and we got Whataburger, In-N-Out, we got Five Guys, and I'm like, I'm just happy with my McDonald's, and once in a while I'll get a hamburger stand,
Well,
and
the good thing about the good thing about the onion rings at Whataburger, and that's what we like because they're hard to find. They're the batter dipped rather than those dipped in cornmeal.
right.
They've got the smooth batter dip, and they're really really good. And
Mm-hmm.
so, as a result, we've been using. Well, she's addicted to them, and then
Well, yeah.
Then I come in, and that damn little girl Chihuahua has learned. She's the smallest dog in the house, and she's learned how to jump up on our bed, which has got like an 18-inch mattress, and it's a king size sleigh bed. So Judy has to have a step to get into the damn thing, and that little dog's learned how to jump up on that thing, and she was jumping
Wow.
up. And, yeah, she's jumping about a good 3.5 to 4, about 3.5 feet, and she's been jumping up, and she'll jump up and steal one of them damn onion rings off of Judy's plate and take off running. Then I'm chasing her around the bed. Finally paddled her little ass and put her, I paddled her little ass and put her down. And that time she knew I was mad. So but yeah, so the woes of my life, and I can't see the chat, guys. I'm going to say hi to everybody, but yeah, it's that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was talking with my cousin, and we were talking about some of the things that's going to hurt us. What we as a party or as the Republicans need to do is we need to step out and say, okay, this is our platform. Answer the question and move on. And basically, it's the abortion question. That's why in last Tuesday's election, the Republicans lost every damn one of them. They lost every. As a matter of fact, the governor there, who is a Republican, was expected to take both the state house and state senate, and he didn't. He lost it, and it was the abortion issue.
And what state was that?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Virginia? Was it Virginia?
Yeah, I think it was Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But a lot of these states, and and it's been the crux of our platform as a party since the 70s. Since Roe v. Wade happened, and right now it's under state control. And they're going to have to the party. A person can say, "Hey, I choose life. I am anti-abortion, but I'm going to present this, and this for the party," and this. If you elect me president, I will make sure that make sure all cross-dressers get a new pair of high heels. I don't know, shit like that. They would probably actually win better if they offered something like that than they talking about the abortion issue, because even amongst conservatives, there needs to be a limit, let's say 15 weeks or something logical, and there needs to be consideration for rape, incest, and I am pro-life, but I'm not a woman, and I don't know how I would feel if I was raped, especially by somebody in the family, and I can't answer that, and so that's why. But I am pro-life. I was faced with that issue back when I was a young man, and I chose. I convinced the other party to choose life, and
Mm-hmm.
I've never regretted that. And but it's one of those things that's my belief. It's sort of like those bumper stickers where it says kill them all, let God sort them out. Uh, Abortions are a touchy subject. It's a medical emergency, then okay, but to be a little hoe with low, yeah, that's true. It should
Mm-hmm.
not be used as abortion should not be for somebody who has sloppy sex. If they're going to have sloppy sex and get knocked up, that's their problem. But they can't keep going and getting and getting and getting. And abortion at birth, all the way up to birth is inhumane
Right.
they might as well be part of Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there needs to be some regulation federally, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think we as a party need to make that our focus. If I like right now, this
Right.
is what I would
Mm-hmm.
say. I bring, it is a touchy subject. Each person has to deal with it on their own. And
Mm-hmm.
since 1973, it's been, we got one generation, at least maybe two generations now, that have been raised with abortion being legal.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's a little hard to take away something that is so generational and expect it not to have repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, my granddaughter, my kids, from the point they were my children and my grandchildren have all been raised during a time period when abortion was legal.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know anything, and uh, fortunately, both my daughter and my granddaughter have chose life. Uh, and wait, same with my sons. They took precaution, and that's what we need to be promoting. And we need to have a a regulation that regulates the abortion industry. It's terrible to make it sound like it's an industry, but it is. That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
become. And this thing, abortion on demand, abortion for the just because they can't keep their legs closed.
Mm-hmm.
There are, and abortion should be a last effort. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Adoption. We need to promote adoption. You know, there are thousands of families out there that would love to have a child, and
Right.
they can't for whatever reason. And
Mm-hmm.
we should make adoption, good background checks, but make it easy. It's a adoptions. That's part of the reason adoption isn't a pathway for a lot of people, because it's so damned hard to get it done. I mean, hell, uh,
Yeah.
it's they go through private concerns sometimes, and they pay outrageous fortunes, for a child, and there's no checks and balance in that system. It's just who's got the biggest paycheck.
Right.
And so these are things that we need to look at, and as a party, and we need to start talking about this at home, talking to your kids and your grandkids, and explaining this is what it's all about. And we need to push that abortion is not an acceptable practice unless it's for life-threatening emergencies, such
Mm-hmm.
as the mother going to die. uh, and even then it has to be the mother's choice. And
Okay.
because the mother may choose to die herself in order to have her baby live, that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be there. There needs to be parental uh, oversight. In other words, we shouldn't allow these 15-year-old girls going in getting abortions without their parents knowing about it, because
Right.
they may not realize that Uncle Bubba just knocked up his little niece and has told her that I'll bury you out with the hogs, next week if you tell your mom or dad about this. This kind of shit needs to be able to be reported without, and the
Mhm.
parents need to be let know. Of course, in Arkansas, Uncle Bubba might be your dad, anyways. You never
Yep.
know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
no offense to my friends in Arkansas, but so anyway, so and it's what hurts our party since
Right.
Gerald Ford's put, when I listened to what he was saying and he put that on his platform, I knew then that well, it gave me two insights. One is I was surprised Jimmy Carter uh, wasn't pro life, and yet here he was a minister, or a Sunday school teacher, whatever the hell he was, and supposed to be this good Christian fellow, but yet he was able to be elected on a ticket that was pro pro abortion,
Right.
you know,
Yep.
and yet we couldn't get a guy who was anti-abortion elected president, and
Right.
a lot of it, I think, even then, because this was what, 1976, so this
Yeah.
was 3 years after Roe versus Wade, so it was fresh in people's minds then,
Right.
you know,
Hmm.
and it was considered, it was considered bad to just go out and get abortions. Most of these, back then the mindset was a little different. They had a little bit more morals than they do now.
Right. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
anyways, so that's what's hurt. That's what's going to hurt us, because it's a real sign of what is to come in next year's
Hmm.
election if we don't get our
Right.
act together.
Hmm.
We got to get, you need to call your congressman that's going to, or your representative, somebody who's going to be up there representing us at the where they start making, building the party platform. That's something
Hmm.
that, as I said, they can talk about it, touch it, be done with it, and move on.
Hmm.
And then let's talk about the economy.
Economy,
Let's talk
crime,
about the border crisis, the crime.
birth. Yep.
Let's talk about the issues that really affect people, because how many of the thousands and thousands and thousands of families out there, how many of them are actually going to be touched by abortion in the next 4 years, as compared to how many are going to be touched by the gas price increase, or
Hmm.
fuel price, heating fuel, uh, and what about, and they keep harping, the Democrats keep harping on, climate change, climate change, climate change. But that's not, I hate to say it, but that's not going to affect me this next winter. The only thing is it's going to be colder, and they're going to have more snow, and I'm going to want to make sure my damn power grid works through the winter.
Hmm.
I don't care
Right.
about a damned electric car, because I wouldn't drive it in the winter anyways.
Hmm. Yeah,
Not
but Lloyd, you need solar panels put on your house.
Oh yeah, solar panels are great,
Yeah.
but what if it's cloudy? What if it's
Yeah.
cloudy the whole damn year?
Well, and that's why you need a wind generator.
Yeah, right. That's all a wind generator is just blowing a bunch of hot air up somebody's skirt.
Yep. So yeah, we need cheap, reliable fuel is what we need. And
Yeah,
for some reason, Democrats are against it. I thought they were the party for the people. And here they are. They want to make uh, fuel more expensive,
yeah,
which hurts, the lower income people more than it does the middle and upper class people.
right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's it that and the fact that they don't know this, and the good thing is Joe Biden has pissed off enough people over his support of Israel, and that's something else. Uh, the Jewish people marched with the blacks during the civil rights.
Right.
And
Hmm.
they've always been fairly liberal here in the United States
Hmm.
in their political points of view, and yet they're getting their backs turned on them. They're just being they're allowing somebody like Talib and people like that.
Yep.
Uh, to do what they're doing, you know, and they're these anti-Semitic. I mean, you know, and when these idiots that are out there in the march are young people that don't know any, that, you know, they're the most,
right,
some of the most unintelligent human beings I've ever seen, you know.
right.
They're, when you ask them about the atrocities that happened, that was caused by Hamas, you know, the babies that were killed, and she said, well, one person said, oh, I don't know about that, but this is genocide. They don't know
Oh,
what,
so,
they don't know
yeah.
why Israel decided to declare war on Hamas.
Uh-huh.
They have
Well,
no clue.
Hamas is the legitimate government of Gaza. They were duly elected. And
Yeah, sort of like
maybe
Biden was.
I don't know how much they were coerced into voting for them. I mean, how many other parties were running for?
Well, I think, well, they first off, they defeated the PLO and
Yeah.
shoved them out of power.
Mhm.
And, you know, the other thing is I think they ran the Biden campaign in 2020 anyway. So that's kind of tells you
Right.
how that happened, you know.
That's true. And
Same.
also, the leaders of Hamas, where are they living? Not in Gaza.
No, they're living
They're living in opulence in Qatar or Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar. Yeah.
You know? And they're the ones that stole all that money, that humanitarian money that was supposed to go to the people of
Well, and that, yeah.
And that money was what? Used for, oh, I don't know, weapons and
yeah, well, in Iran, they, you know, they're doing things that, yeah, they're, in other words, these sanctions that were lifted for humanitarian purposes in Iran, that just meant the money that they were having to use to actually feed their people is now free because they're getting the support from the outside world, and they're able to use the money that they were using now to pay for weapons to send into Hezbollah and Hamas. You know.
Oh, and don't forget, how about those weapons we left in Afghanistan that are ending
Yeah,
up?
well, that just
Yeah,
burns my.
I
You know,
know. What we should have done was, well, we should have taken those weapons with us on the way out, and
well,
any
we should have
vehicles
had.
that are left, we should have demilitarized them to where, you
Well,
know, or made them inoperable.
yeah, well, and that's usually that is usually the case. In the way it's done, and there's usually some. Well, there was a plan. That's the problem. There was a plan in place, but Biden decided that we had to get out by the 6 o'clock the next morning. So he just pulled everybody out, and then had to turn around and send everybody back in to get the people that were stranded there. And you know, and had they done what the initial plan, my understanding was the initial plan was for them to keep the air base there, and they were supposed to evacuate from the air base, not from yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
Afghanistan.
not from the airport. Yeah, they were supposed to evacuated and moved out, because there's a process in which they do that. The military does that, and this was not followed because the president didn't want it, you know. And I think the best statement I ever saw was where Ahmed, the dead terrorist, thanks Biden for the nice Christmas gifts he left.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty sad when a dummy is smarter than the guy in the White House.
And Cool Cat makes a good point. Neglect your exit strategy at your peril, and men were lost in the balls up. Yeah.
It was a true Charlie Foxcroft of a setup,
Right.
and it frustrates me as a veteran, you know, to see what and having had just a little bit to do with some of the things in the Middle East back in the 70s, I know some of the things that happened over there, and it's just, yeah, and that's the thing. We left all that equipment for the enemies.
Right.
I'm on my phone. And I keep getting these damn drop down things going on. They're driving me nuts. Then I can't see. Really, I don't want notifications from all these dams. Anyways, but yeah. So, and I do apologize for being late, guys, and but that gave Charles a good chance to have his say in things.
Right. Yeah. Give him some airtime. Yeah.
Because we know how Charles likes to talk, and when I'm gone, they give him the opportunity.
Yep. He's kind of the Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
No, he's the
teller. Yeah.
Teller and Penn and Teller. Yeah, Penn's the one that.
Penn is and they're libertarians, believe it or not.
Yes, that's right. And Steve Carpenter, take care. Have a good dinner, and we'll catch you hopefully on Monday on Lloyd's show.
Yeah,
tomorrow night. We might have something interesting to say, and maybe
probably
even
not.
Mary might pop in once in a while.
Do what?
Mary might pop in.
Yeah. But by the way, I want to say I'm really glad to see that you're doing good after your heart attack.
Well, thank you.
I was glad to, Chris Hope had contacted me, and I said, well, I'd message you, and you gave me an update, and so I was able to give it to Chris before you officially put it on your site. So there's a lot of people worried about you, Art. I was real surprised. I wasn't surprised because you're well liked in the community. And, do they know what brought it on?
Well, they think it might be micro blood vessels that have gotten blocked, and that just started something that elevated the protein levels in my blood that indicate that I had a heart attack.
Yeah.
So, because Tuesday night I went to bed, to go to work, and then an hour later I woke up and I'm like, man, my chest really hurts. Oh man. And I've never felt anything that intense like that.
Yeah.
And I called up my sister and told her what's going on. And she said, okay, I'm coming down to get you and take you to UC Health up in Broomfield.
Right.
And they got a full-fledged hospital there.
Yeah.
And it was an emergency room. Went in. They quickly got me into a room and slapped all these electrodes on me and taking blood and giving me IVs and
right.
And they said, well, your heart rhythm doesn't look too bad, but they're a little elevated. And then when they got the blood back, they said, yeah, you got a high level of this certain enzyme that tells you that, hey, you're either having or you had a heart attack. And so they wanted to keep me for 3 hours to see if those levels would come back down. And if they do, then I could go home. So after 3 hours, they did another check and checked my blood, and they go, wow, your levels are still up there. So we're going to send you to our cardiac unit that's down in Highlands Ranch. You know where Highlands Ranch is? That's in South Denver by Littleton.
Oh, yeah.
So got to ride in an ambulance, and they sent me down there and got into the emergency room there, and then I got put into my own room and had IVs in both arms. They're giving me heparin and thin my blood, and and some other medication to kind of slow my heart rate a little bit, so I wasn't producing those enzymes and helping my heart to heal up.
Right.
And then Wednesday afternoon, that's when I got the old catheter put in my
Right.
wrist. And so I got shaved there, and I got, well, manscaped down there in case they couldn't do this.
Right.
And,
Right.
and so that was interesting. You know, they sedate you a little bit. They don't put you totally out. So I got to watch the monitor and see my heart and
Right.
watch the vessels move. And I go, ooh, that's cool. And and they asked me, what kind of music do you like? And I said, oh, I don't know, Led Zeppelin, some Yardbirds, and they played that. Luckily, it wasn't Stairway to Heaven. That would have been bad. So
Not a
they
good.
looked. They said no blockage. We can't see any blockage there other than a little bit of calcium formation, due to your age. So you look okay there. So they kept me overnight, and they did another chest X-ray, and they said, "Well, you're good to go. We'll let you go." And I asked cardiologist, "Can I go back to work?" And he goes, I don't see why not. So Friday went back to work, and and it's weird. Whatever they put in for the contrast, all of a sudden my wrist and the palm of my hand started turning blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to that contrast. It causes my arm to swell way up. So I
Wow.
can't have contrast when they do CT scans or X-rays. I'm allergic to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts a clotting and then a swelling in my arm, and
Right.
so
Mm-hmm.
years ago we discovered that. So you might let them know that you've had a little, what it started doing on your hands. So
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
it's all gone now, so
yeah.
they knew that was going to happen anyway.
Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So,
because they go through the arteries in your wrist, and
yep. Goes
did they?
up your arm, and then that's a nice short trip to the
Yeah,
heart. Yeah.
yeah. It used to go through your femoral arteries, which is
Yep.
that's pretty bad. Uh,
Yeah.
from what I understand, I haven't had it done. Knock on wood, I haven't had a heart
Right.
attack.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's just a weird feeling when they first start getting that catheter in, and once I'm like, oh, wow, that's pretty quick. You're already there, and it's like, and I watch the blood vessels get darker where
right.
the contrast shows up, and that's you get to see the veins in your heart, and
Yeah.
they show up as darker than the heart does, and like, oh, that's cool, you know. And I
Well,
had an Indian doctor,
uh,
so nice to have a cardiologist. It sounds like he could work at a call center.
yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
they're all.
your heart is looking pretty good. However, should I encourage you to extend your warranty?
Well, yeah, they could. Hopefully when he does his when he reads
It
that,
looks like you have a problem with your windows.
yeah, at least hopefully he wasn't sitting there flipping the pages on the. Let's see.
Right.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Let's see. We insert into the
Yeah. Yeah. Go check your IP address.
Yeah. Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's sad. But yeah, I know on behalf of a lot of people, we're all happy that you came through it with
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
damage because you are quite well liked in this community. And I know personally, both Judy and I were very happy to hear that you came through it as well as you did.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that you had to go through it, but
Yeah.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
having dealt with Judy on her strokes, well, she's had a heart attack too. So
Right.
So, and in her case, they don't know the reason why necessarily, because except that in her case, it's more than likely hereditary because of the way her family has died of heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
They've had and that could be, you were lucky that it was just a minor damage, if or minimal,
Yep.
But
Very
we're all.
yeah.
But I did want to. That's part of the reason I got on, even though I was late getting here. I wanted to tell you that you were in our prayers, and we really are happy that Judy and I both are very happy. I know a lot of people in the community are very happy that you're back and doing good.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, thank you very much, and everybody in the chat. I want to thank you for just about. Well, I mean, everybody in the chat has been giving me prayers and well wishes over on Facebook. I want to thank you all for your thoughts and your prayers, and thank you for coming to the show. So we've done a little over an hour, covered a lot of subjects. So want you all to have a great Sunday. Enjoy the football. Broncos play tomorrow night. They play the Buffalo Bills. Hopefully we get a little closer to 500, which is good. So everybody have a good night and God bless.
Good night,
everyone. Folks. Good night, folks.